It's a very beautiful day at Saraji Eco Farm, and today we'll be taking you through a grand tour of the whole farm from start to finish. We'll try to show you everything that is on our farm and some new surprises. So stick to the end of this video to know what are the new developments that we have on the farm. We'll take you through all the crops that we are growing. We'll take you through all the animals that we are keeping, plus the new developments that we have. You don't want to miss this one, so stay tuned in and hope that you enjoy this video. So today we'll start off by showing you the progress on our upper part of the farm. And you can already see we have a lot of crops on the farm. And here we have a trial that we did using jerry cans. Remember, Taraji Eco Farm, we used to use sacks to do our vertical farming, and we explained the reasons why we stopped using sacks because they wore out. Like after barely a year, they were falling out, and the way we had done it, the soil used to get very compact, so the crops didn't used to get nutrients and enough water to grow. But we tried this jerry can kind of farming, vertical farming, which we actually saw online. And it looks like it's pretty much better than what we were doing before. The crops are thriving. You can see we've been eating quite a bit from this vertical farm. You can see we've been eating quite a bit. And even the kids got to experiment. So they also have their two jerry cans over here. And yeah, so if you want to try vertical farming, especially if you're in an urban setting, this is pretty good for you to try. Usually, it's for these pipes. The reason why there is nothing here, we usually put a bottle of water when there is no rain. But since it's been raining, so that's why they are open like that. But when the rain goes, then we'll be feeding them through these pipes. And the other pipe is for any compost or any manure that you might have. Then you can also feed the crops through the other pipe. Yes. So um, behind me, you can see we have a lot of bananas. We have quite a variety of bananas on the farm. So we have the green bananas that we use for cooking. So I think those are the most currently. We have 4 different uh, sections with green bananas. This is what we've been feeding from. This is so far, this is our biggest. This is our biggest so far. But we are told that this will even give us bigger bananas compared to that one. So we are really waiting to see how big the bananas from this plant are going to get. Still on the bananas, these are plantain. We have 2, 1, 2. They're actually one of the hardest varieties that we've been growing on this farm. They took quite a while to even just get the first leaves after we planted them. But now they are thriving. I think they need a lot of water, a lot of care. So they're quite a difficult variety to grow. But so far, so good. They're thriving and they're looking forward to that. Now, still on the bananas, we do have this ripening variety that we got from Muranga. Uh, we don't know anyone growing this kind of variety in this area. So we're also looking forward to uh, getting some ripening variety. I don't know the exact name, but I know it's a ripening variety. So looking forward to getting some produce from this. Um, on some other sections of the farm, we have sweet bananas, which are yet also to produce their first fruits. So we've mainly been consuming the green bananas, which we also keep to ripen. But with time, probably in the course of this year, we are going to be getting sweet bananas and also the plantain. Hopefully, I don't know after how long we'll get our first plantain, but after some time, definitely we'll be eating our own plantain and also this ripening variety. Yes, so this is one of our raised beds that we have on the farm. We have some sweet potatoes, which are not ready. I expect to harvest this probably end of August. They look quite bushy though, but I don't think they're ready. They're about, say, 3 months or so. Yeah. Then we have some collard greens. We have some spring onions. And remember the chamomile that we planted recently? Look at that. It's already started flowering. So we have 2 chamomile plants. And we are really looking forward to making our own chamomile tea at the farm. So this is one of the beds. We usually mix a lot of crops on the beds, as you are going to see in other beds. But for now, this is what we have. The area where we have the chamomile, we previously had potatoes, which we already harvested. So now we have the chamomile. Yes. And on this part, uh, if you followed our journey, we previously had a vertical kind of setting here. So we never used to plant on the ground, but we've now planted on the ground after the vertical garden fell off. And we have some collard greens and also some peas that we've planted in between. So one of the things that we've done this season is plant peas almost all over the place. Wherever there are collard greens. I'll show you something else, but would I plant peas again where there are collard greens? Yes, I will, because they are not disturbing the crops a lot. It was an experiment just to see whether the two can survive together, and we'll show you the ones that are very healthy. These ones are the last ones that I planted, and today I'm also going to plant a few more peas and also some chickpeas on some parts of the farm that are a bit bare, or we've harvested some things. One thing that we did this season is to use our existing strawberry plants to get more strawberry plants. So initially we used to have 2 strawberry plants, but now we have around 8, I think, and this is one of them. So this we planted on this jerry can. It's very healthy, and you can see it's flowering. There are a lot of flowers. There are a lot of flowers, and there are also a lot of fruits. So look at that. So in fact, let me get these fruits. Let me get these fruits. I didn't think we'd get uh, fruits to harvest. I've not carried something to put them in, but there's so many. These ones are ready to eat. We just need to wash them thoroughly, and we'll be able to. Oopsie, very healthy, organically grown. Okay, this is bad. This is a bad one. I'll just put it there. You can see how big this is. It's very healthy. They are very tasty. We've been eating quite a bit of them. Okay, so they are very healthy. This one is not so dirty. So, so one thing I realized is that our strawberries taste very differently from what we used to get in the supermarket. So the supermarket ones were not very, there you go to buy something and then you're like, was it really worth the money? They never used to have that. You'd think strawberries are very sweet and all that. But when we started growing them ourselves, maybe there's a bit of bias, but they are quite tasty compared to what we used to get. Yeah, and we really love them. So let me just finish my strawberry. It's very nice. Now, on this area, I don't think we used to plant anything, by the way, because of these bananas, but we decided to put some arrowroots. Remember, arrowroots are one of those crops that we experimented with on this farm. We found they can do very well in this area, and since then we've been growing them. So we have some arrowroots. We have bigger ones elsewhere on the farm, and we also have much smaller ones elsewhere on the farm, and we are going to see that. Yes, so this is another area of the farm, just straight after what you've shown you. We have some volunteer plants. These are gooseberry plants. We have so many, we keep just removing them from the farm. But we have quite a number. This is one plant. There are a lot of gooseberries. So the people who like them in our family, and they're the ones who've been consuming this. You can see how many, look at that. This is one plant. So many fruits. But right now there are none that are ready. So I'll not be getting any for them, but we'll check elsewhere on the farm. But we also have some groundnuts. Also, remember we experimented with groundnuts, got a very good harvest, planted them in a different area of the farm, which is this place. There was quite a bit of erosion. Some of them were washed away, but we have a few remaining, which is okay. So these are the groundnuts that we currently have. And at the edge here, we have some hibiscus, quite tiny. We have some hibiscus plants, these ones. So all along the edge, they're going to form like sort of like a fence all along. So we have those hibiscus plants. So on this area, we have our popcorn. Some of them were eaten by a cow. If you saw that video, some of them were eaten by a cow. Now, I don't know what's happening to the popcorn, but all the popcorn, I have these ones and others elsewhere. Their leaves are becoming brown. No idea what's going on, but it looks like now is when the formation is happening. So we'll wait and see whether we get any popcorn. So for these ones, we'll wait for them to actually dry on the farm before we harvest them. But if you know what's causing this, it's only on the popcorn. I've not seen it on the maize. It's only on the popcorn plants. Probably it's the different climate than where they grow. I don't know. But that's how they are behaving currently. Let's see whether we get popcorn. We can see they're already forming. I just don't know if there's anything inside, but let's hope there is. Now, next to the popcorn, we have this plum tree, which once gave us one plum. So we've been waiting for it to give us more fruit. I don't know. We wait and see. But one other thing that we are trying to do is propagate other plum trees from this. So just getting some cuttings from here and planting them elsewhere on the farm, because currently it's the only big plum tree that we have, but we are trying to propagate others. Uh, Here we have some sugarcane. We actually want to, at the end of it all, to give space to this plum tree. So we'll plant the sugarcane much closer to the fence, so we'll not have this in future. So we've been eating quite a bit of sugarcane. We have a lot of sugarcane on the farm, a lot, a lot, a lot. By there, I hope I'll remember to show you the purple sugarcane that we planted. It's already started. Is it called sprouting? Yes, it's already started sprouting. So I'm really looking forward to uh, seeing how it does. And while we're still here, we recently planted some lemongrass. These tiny lemongrass that you can see, they're doing quite well. Looking forward to having quite a bit of lemongrass. We have some 3 plants here, and then we have some 4 plants elsewhere on the farm. Yes, so here we have another bed just next to the popcorn. By the way, this is a pear plant. I don't know if you can see it. It's a pear plant. It's not the healthiest looking tree. Yeah, but we keep trying to take care of it. Now on this bed, we have sweet potatoes, a lot of sweet potatoes. It's a mix of 2 varieties. One is the orange flesh, and the other one is the white flesh. Then we have some pepper plants. As usual, we have a lot of pepper plants on different sections of the farm. And this is a place where we harvested our purple cauliflower. If you've not watched that video, you can check our previous videos. And at the end of this, so we've been trying to get rid of mint from all our beds. This is the only remaining mint on the bed because mint is very, what's the word? It colonizes a place. So this is a place where we planted mint, but it's all the way up to here. So we've tried to designate a place for mint only on the farm. So once that mint grows, because this is the only remaining mature mint, once that mint grows, we'll also get some of this and plant there and then remove all the mint from this bed. Yes, so we had some potatoes over here. They were really messed up by the cow intrusion. So we ended up just removing the crops. I have some chickpeas. We've never planted chickpeas before. So we don't know how they're going to do, but we'll try to plant them. This is a loquat tree. We have about 4. We might get rid of some. We have about 4 loquat trees. Uh, this one is quite small compared to the others. And then just next to where I'm going to plant the chickpeas, we have some pineapple plants. we've never gotten our very first pineapple, but we are looking forward. We do have other smaller pineapple plants compared to this. So these are the ones that are probably going to fruit first. So we are looking forward to that. But before we proceed, let me just plant these chickpeas. I have my very nice tool here that I use. It's not expensive, by the way. Bought it at a local supermarket. It's not very expensive. I find it to be one of those it's one of the tools I use mostly on the farm. I'm not sure how big the chickpea plant grows, so I'm giving sufficient space, uh, more than 30 centimeters, more than 30 centimeters of spacing, because I don't know how big the plant grows. One thing I read about chickpeas is that they don't need that much water to survive. I think they do well in very dry areas. So we're almost at the end of the rainy season. Hopefully, we'll see whether that is the case, whether they'll do well. Because we're at the end of the rainy season, I believe. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. So now I'm done planting the chickpeas. On this area, we have some carrots. You can see them, quite healthy. A lot of them were washed away by erosion. I'll show you another place where we planted carrots. And then you have this, a lot of volunteer African nightshade with very broad leaves. We've not been eating them, but we are thinking of eating them because they are very many. They are very many, especially there's a bed that has so many. So we might actually start consuming them. There's one here, there's one here. We have a lot more in some beds. Yeah, and they're very healthy. Then behind here we have one of the pumpkin plants from a bed, and uh, it's really just going all over the place. So we are pushing it towards the fence. We do have some pumpkin growing. We do have some pumpkin growing. So looking forward to harvesting them. We did have a few that were just rotting, and those ones we just throw them away. But we are looking forward to harvesting pumpkin. We've disturbed this plant quite a bit because it was coming in between the carrots. We had to push it away to the fence, but hopefully we do get some pumpkin at the end of the day. Yeah, so I just showed you some carrots. But believe it or not, these ones were planted before the ones I just showed you, and they are less healthy compared to what we have there. A lot of So we had this section and then we had that section. There's barely anything on that side, but we do have this section. So there's usually a lot of erosion. So that side was highly affected. But this side, at least we got some carrots. We can call it natural thinning because now I don't have to do a lot of thinning on these carrots. And there are some that are too much on one space, but so there are some that still require some thinning, but majority of them we had natural thinning due to soil erosion, a lot of soil erosion. So I'll just grab a few. Usually we we, we don't usually thin our carrots the best way, but we'll try and see how these ones do. We'll try and see. Quite some good size, and these ones are smaller, so small compared to the ones we just showed you. Yes, we planted these ones first. Yeah. So just next to those carrots, these ones will give to our rabbits. our rabbits like carrots. But just right next to those carrots, we have this bed. Now this bed supports a passion fruit structure. We've not had much passion fruit through the season, but the passion fruits usually thrive after the rains. So you can see they are becoming, they are still green, so they are still growing. We are looking forward to harvesting passion fruits. We do have other passion fruit trees, but mostly on this bed uh, we have some pepper, we have some spring onions, some spinach, and then look at the popcorn. The popcorn, same thing as I showed you up there, same issue, but let's see whether we get some popcorn. Not sure what's going on. Yeah, and you can't come to the farm and not harvest some onions for using. So let me just harvest some. And as usual, we harvest a bit of the bundle. So I've harvested these ones and I've left about 3 from the bundle. So that was a very big bundle, you can see. And I'll get some more. So I don't want to pick everything. Very healthy spring onions. So always make sure that we grab some for using in the house for various meals. Look at that. Very nice, very healthy. So that's what we have on this bed. And now we'll move to, or before we go to the other bed, this is a pomegranate. We were expecting it to at least have given us its first fruits, but for some reason it hasn't. And it's quite small. It's supposed to be bigger than it is. We have 3 of these. This one, we have another one right there, and another one behind me. So we're also looking forward to harvesting our own pomegranates. So this is another bed. Eventually, we want this bed to be full of strawberries. It's where this was the very first plant from which we got several more. This was the second plant, and now we have several new plants. This is a new plant. We have another one here. We have others down here, and another one here. So we have quite some new strawberry plants, and you can see this is a new plant. It already has strawberry. I think we'll do a bit of mulching, put probably some straw or something so that the strawberry stops touching the soil. We also have another one that is just started to grow over here. So we picked some strawberries from the upper part of the farm. I'll pick a few more. Okay, some are not too good. See, some are not too good. I think it's because of touching the soil. But we'll wash them thoroughly before consuming them. We do have some more on this plant. Hey, this one is huge. So the only issue we have right now is we need to put some mulch so that our strawberries don't uh, get into contact with the soil. Because we have a few that are rotting because of that. But we did get a few more strawberries. So looking forward, you see we have a lot of plants. So we are going to be harvesting a lot of strawberries. Then still on this bed, we have some beetroot. So some beetroot, some volunteer beans, and then this pumpkin that I showed you that is really disturbing us. Then you have some pepper plants. We have 2 varieties. This is the normal one that you usually have that has small, very tiny peppers, but they are very hot. They are very tiny, but they are very hot. And then we have this, I think this is the only plant that I've seen that we have of this variety. So we have now 2 varieties of pepper. Yes, so I think what we'll do, it's very easy to grow pepper. Like for example, these ones, what we did, When you harvest the pepper and you open it up, there are some seeds that are inside it. Some tiny little seeds. This is how we grew these mini pepper plants. So we'll do the same for this variety. So once I can see like this one has seeds, but it doesn't look ready. It doesn't look ready. Once they are ready, we'll get the seeds and we'll also have them in several parts of the farm. While we are still on this bed, I'll harvest some leeks. We've been harvesting a lot of leeks the last couple of weeks. And one thing that I've done is we've started some seeds, some more seeds, uh, because of a surprise that we'll show you at the very end. Where are we starting seeds at the end of the season? You'll get to know at the very end. But we've already started some new leek seeds. We've started some bulb onion seeds. We started quite a number of seeds to plant in the next 2 or 3 weeks. For leeks, they take quite a bit to get the seedling ready to transplant. But for most of the plants that we have, in 3-4 weeks, we transplant them. Yes, so now we have our chicken. We also have turkeys. They are somewhere, somewhere trying to look for food. So we also have chicken and turkeys and guinea fowl and ducks on the farm. Ducks are the least together with guinea fowls. There's a time we used to have a lot of guinea fowls on the farm. We're trying to get to those numbers that we had of guinea fowls. We had one that was injured by some wild dogs that came to the farm one day and actually somehow managed to get into their house and they hurt one of the guinea fowls. But we got a male guinea fowl, so now we have two, a female and a male, and we are going to get some more guinea fowls on the farm. Similarly, we used to have quite a number of chicken. We are trying to get to more numbers. Um, these are not all the chicken that we have. We have some which are still inside the coop, but these ones are the bigger ones that we allow to free range on this area of the farm where we have fruits. So even the turkeys feed from this area. Sometimes you'll see them around eating a lot of grass, soil, worms, everything. So we allow them to free range in this area where we have fruits. We have tree tomatoes. This is the red tree tomato. We do have yellow tree tomato down there. We do have some pawpaws. We tried to plant two more pawpaws. One dried and the other one does not look too good. Not sure what happened there. Then we have some citrus plants. On this area we have 3. Then we have one from the upper part, and then we have a few more down there, I think around 2 or 3. Yes, we have some citrus. It's a mix of pixies, oranges, lemons. We are not quite sure until we get fruits. And actually, those citrus fruits have been one of the most challenging crops that we've grown. You can see like this one. It used to be very healthy with a lot of leaves, but now it has shed all the leaves. Sometimes we have a lot of, I think there are aphids on the leaves. Not sure what goes on, and a lot of ants. Yeah, we usually have a lot of ants. Not been able to really manage them properly. But if you have some tips for us, just put them in the comment section. I also mentioned that we are trying to propagate plum trees. So I can see like this one. This one has already started getting some new leaves. This is a plum tree. So it started getting some new leaves. So there is a bit of hope in this propagation that we are doing. This one I'm not too sure, but let's see whether it gets. It doesn't look like it's going to, but this one has some new leaves. Then this is our pawpaw that is also looks like it's dying off. Not sure what's going on with that pawpaw. I was really looking forward, but um, here we have an apple tree. that gave us one apple. You remember I used to say there's a plum tree that gave us one plum. So we're looking forward to more fruits from this apple tree. We do have another apple tree down there. Then we have mango tree right here. We do have quite a number, probably more than 8 mango trees on the farm. This is probably the second biggest. We have another bigger one right there. Then this is our biggest loquat tree. As I mentioned, we have quite a number of loquat trees on the farm. So this will fruit the fastest. We are also looking forward to that. And then as usual, we have a lot of sugarcane on this area. And the purple sugarcane that I talked about, the one that we are trying out. So this is where we planted it. So there is hope. I had given up, but I saw these things are getting bigger. So this is the purple sugarcane that we are trying out. And then we have this other one here. So there is hope that we could actually get the purple sugarcane on the farm. Yeah, it's quite small, but there is hope that it's actually going to grow. So I just showed you the red tree tomato, which is flowering. And then this is the yellow one, which is also flowering. So we expect quite a number of tree tomatoes. We have another smaller one, which is this size. I'm not sure whether it's a yellow or a red one, but we'll wait and see. Then here we do have some bigger pumpkin. And, let's see whether yeah, this is one of the biggest pumpkin that I've seen. Uh, Looking forward to maturity. We do have another one, not another one, another two here, another two pumpkin there. So also looking forward to the maturity of those pumpkin. Yeah, we have some passion fruit plant here. That this one is the one that we've been eating from. It's not produced as many fruit as the other one, but I can see it's still growing and it will give us more fruits. Yeah, so this is the passion fruit plant. Now on this bed, we have a lot of amaranth, two varieties, this one and this one, and we are letting them. You can see we have some new ones that are growing, so we'll have a lot of amaranth on this bed. We do also have some leeks, some carrots. I've seen some big leeks there, so I'll get 2 leeks from here. Look at that, very big leeks. Yes, so this bed eventually might have a lot of amaranth. Then probably just a few spring onions. So even these carrots, when they mature, we'll not plant more carrots there. We'll let this bed have a lot of amaranth and some spring onions and pepper. Yes. So now, right next to this bed, we have our biggest citrus plant that is not looking too good. Yeah, but we don't know what it is. You can see these are the problems that we've been dealing with. So they always get this black and then they shed all the leaves and then start afresh. So I guess that's why they've not given us any fruits so far. By now they should have actually given us fruits, given the time that we planted them. Yes. Yeah. So on this bed, I showed you the what are they called? The volunteer African nightshade, managu. There are so many here. So many. We even have some here. So that's why we are saying we might as well decide to start eating them. Now, this bed used to have spring onions, and then I decided to throw in some peas. Very bad idea because the peas ended up killing most of the spring onions. But the peas are quite healthy, and they're producing a lot of peas. So we're looking forward to harvesting this peas. We've harvested one batch of peas from another bed. Then we do have several other beds with peas. So would I advocate for you to plant peas together with spring onions? Not at all, unless you have some vertical let's say poles that the peas can actually attach to. But if you do what I did here, then all your spring onions are going to die off. With collard greens, I've not seen that issue. Even if they attach to the collard greens, we are still able to harvest our leaves very well, and it's not affecting the health of the crops as well. So we do have a few remaining spring onions here. So once we harvest the peas, we'll bring back the spring onions on this bed and we'll not do peas again on this bed. So that's what we have here. Then we do have this unhealthy plant that I've been thinking that we should uproot because we don't know what to do with whatever this is. Yeah, but we've actually eaten a few courgettes from this plant. But now look at what's happening. These are very young ones. Look, these are very young. Look what's happening. So I don't know. I'm not sure what could be the issue with this plant. Used to be one of the healthiest plants, but now it's one of the worst, most unhealthy plants that we have on the farm. Now, I want to show you uh, this one of the beds with collard greens, and that we also planted some peas. So I was really looking for just a place to have peas. Wanted peas to harvest peas at different stages. So we have different beds with peas. So just threw the peas in between the collard greens. The collards are still doing well, and they've been harvesting the leaves from these collards. Then we have here, yeah. Then here we have some spring onions. Let me show you. Let me just throw this somewhere. Let me show you how healthy they are. And you can see it's very easy to pull the crops from the ground because it's been raining. The soil is nice and moist. Look, very healthy. A lot of people in this area usually just harvest the leaves and then leave the bottom down there. We always just leave one or two spring onions and harvest the rest because we don't really like eat majority of the leaf probably up to this point. Yeah, so that's what we do as Taraji Eco Farm. Then you also have another pumpkin plant that we are trying to redirect to be on the channel so that it doesn't mess up the other beds. Let me just jump here. We have a lot of kienyeji avocado trees that we actually cut down two on the upper part because there are so many. We have one here, we have two more there, then we have some up there. Then we have this Hass. We have this Hass avocado. So we have quite a number of avocado trees. We've already cut down two, which were pretty close to each other, but these ones are quite further apart. We might actually maintain them. Then now we also have some more collard greens with peas. Some more collard greens with peas. These are the oldest. You can see they are uh, almost my height. I think there is one there that is almost up to here. These are the oldest that we have. And these ones go for a very long time before they flower. Yeah, so I think these ones are more than 1.5 years, if I'm not very, very wrong. And as usual, we always grow our collards from our collards. So let me just show you what that means. So you can see here, we have a lot of shoots that have grown from this collard. So this is what we do. Just pluck this and this is what we plant. So whenever we need new collards, we get the existing shoots, we plant them, we get new collards. Very nice way of getting a lot of produce on the farm. Uh, Here, this is our very, very first bed that we did on the farm. Not the very best bed, but it was our first. It has collard greens and peas and a lot of food for our rabbits. Let's not call them weeds for now. Food for our rabbits. So that's why they're still there. They're we've been trying to pluck a few for our rabbits, but we had a lot from the farm that was maize. Then we also get food from this place to give to our rabbits. And you can see we still have another, we have another kienyeji avocado tree right here. Now this area, this is the area, including the area with the maize there. This is the area that we want to have our mint in that area. We've already planted a few mint crops that are not visible right now. They're quite small. But this area is where we want to have all our mint. Uh, and because we'll have so much, we'll also be selling some. Uh, this is white maize. Didn't do very well, but we'll still wait to harvest it. This is white maize. And then this is our sweet banana plant, the biggest that we have. We do have some down there on the other farm that has maize, two of them, but this is the biggest that we have. So this one will be the first one to give us fruits. And more pumpkin plants. We have a lot of pumpkin plants. So we look forward to harvesting a lot of pumpkin. Yes, so on this area, this is the final place that we have. This is the very first place that we planted arrowroots, and it's the one that inspired us to do more arrowroots because we harvested a lot. Then February came and they all dried, and then we planted these groundnut plants. And then when the rains came, the the arrowroots that had dried started shooting. So now we also have a lot of arrowroots here. So also looking forward to harvesting them. We know they do very well here. So all we keep doing is throwing in a lot of compost, and they are going to do very well around this area. So that's it from here. Yes, this is the second bed that we have. We made, it was not the best. We actually want to dismantle it and make a bigger one to occupy more space. Than you can see here, we have a lot of walkway. So just expand it a little bit, and then also this way. But it has sweet potatoes. For now, it has sweet potatoes. It had this eggplant. This is an eggplant. For some reason, all the eggplants dried during the rainy season. That's quite strange. So we'll see whether they thrive during the dry season. We've started some seeds, so hopefully we'll be able to get eggplants from this farm. Yeah, so we are done with part one of, so we are done with the first part of the farm. Now we are on another part, and we'll start with our napier grass. So we'll show you the goats that we acquired recently. But before that, this is the food that we've been growing for them. This is the super pak chong kind of grass. And our goats like to eat the very young shoots. So currently we only have 3 goats. So we have more than enough napier grass to feed them. We have other sections with napier grass. This is the super pak chong. We even have some different variety, the local variety growing in some of the water channels that we've created on the farm. So let's go to the other part of the farm and show you what is there. So this is the local kind of napier grass that I've mentioned is growing along the channel. So we need to harvest this before the stems become quite mature. This is what they like, the very young shoots. So it needs to be harvested probably today or tomorrow so that they can feed the day after. Now we'll go to the section of the farm where we have a lot of cassava and sweet potatoes, but we are rethinking things because of the issues we've had with sweet potatoes. Uh, we don't usually harvest much from this area because of the issues with gophers. They eat a lot of sweet potatoes. Now the cassavas take too long to mature. If you've seen the cassava harvest video that we did, the cassavas had been there for I think over 8 months, thereabout, but they were still very small. So we didn't even harvest the other lot of cassavas. We are giving them a couple of months to at least become big enough. So we are rethinking this area. Probably we'll have more napier grass as we increase the number of goats that we have on the farm. So currently we do have some very young cassavas. You can see These are cassavas. They're very young. And then we also have these rows with sweet potatoes, a lot of sweet potatoes. So it's mostly cassava, sweet potatoes, and a bit of maize. This is the one of the unhealthiest areas of our farm. So hopefully with the goat manure that we'll now start collecting, because the chicken manure is not enough to use on the upper part of the farm and then the lower part of the farm. So hopefully with the goat manure, you'll be able to improve the fertility of this area, because even the maize doesn't do well. Yeah. But yeah, let's see how this sweet potatoes and cassava will go. I'm not sure we'll have the cassava till the end of the season. As we've said, we are rethinking things, because now these ones will take like 12 months to mature. We are rethinking things. We are not quite sure about the cassava anymore because of just the amount of time it takes to maturity. Yeah, so we just showed you the small cassavas. These are the bigger cassavas that we are giving a couple of months to harvest. And one, we do have some arrowroots, big arrowroots next to the cassavas. The cassavas are affecting them a bit because of too much shade, but all in all, they are still uh, a bit healthy. We also do have some citrus plants. We have one, two, three, four. I think there used to be five. There used to be four. So they are growing quite a bit. We're not sure what they are really. They could be lemons or oranges or tangerines or whatever. But we'll wait and see. Whatever they are, we'll appreciate. And then now on this side, you can see we have maize. And that's one of the things that has brought us here. We're going to harvest some green maize for our family to consume for a few days. Then, because it's our farm is just next to our home, probably like 5 or 10 minutes walk, so we can always come back and harvest more. But today we'll harvest a few. It started raining. I don't know why. It started raining, but that will not be us. This season, we actually planted both white and yellow maize. I need to check whether these ones are white. I don't quite remember which was planted where. Or these are yellow maize. Look at that. Very healthy. We don't use any chemicals. And we didn't even have enough manure to put. So this is all the farm's doing. And I think it's quite good given that we've grown. Is it the second or the third season? I think it's the third season. Still with no enough manure and still not using uh, chemicals. But we still get this kind of healthy maize. So I'll get quite uh, some harvest for maize. I'll try to see if I can get some white ones. I think the white ones are somewhere down there, but let's get a few yellow ones and then go look for some white ones. So if you've watched our videos before, we mentioned there's usually a lot of theft, especially because this area is a bit far from our house. So we are not going to cut down the stems. It will attract more attention. And yeah, there's always that a few, of course, there's always a few that are stolen, even when we don't cut the stems. The stems will be cut when we are harvesting everything. So I have some four. Actually, what I'm noticing is that the maize is actually quite dry compared to what I was expecting. I think we've delayed a bit in harvesting, uh, but let's check on the other part of the farm and get some younger maize to, to boil and also to roast and use as snacks in the house. So this season, we'll actually not get, that's a chameleon. I'll be scared for the rest of this video. So this season, I've seen a chameleon and now I'm afraid. Okay, so this season we won't get beans. Uh, yeah, we did plant beans, but there's nothing. Look, there's there's nothing. Uh, But this is also yellow maize. I'll get a few and then we go look for some white maize. Now I'm fearing chameleons. The maize is very healthy. There's a time when they were, I think, this size, the leaves had been attacked by some worms, but that didn't seem to affect them much. The maize is quite healthy. Let me grab a few more. Majority of this maize we are going to harvest when it's dry, but we'll always get the green maize. Look at how beautiful that is. We'll always get the green maize for using as snacks in the house. So the yellow maize is very sweet when boiled, and then the white maize is very nice when roasted. So that's how we mixed both of them. Yeah, so I've finished getting the yellow maize. Now, on this section, we have some very big uh, arrowroots. They're not quite ready. We are going to give them like a month or a month and a half. Uh, there are quite many all along this channel. And you can see they also have some small ones that they've developed. Here we have some 3 big ones. So arrowroots actually do very well in this area. We tried them, they're doing very well. Um, and they're one of those crops that we are really proud to grow. And we really enjoy arrowroots from our farm. As you've seen, we have some on the other section of the farm. They're smaller than these ones. So we do have them in different stages. And what that enables us to do is to be able to harvest at different times instead of having one very big harvest and then lacking for a period of time. So that's how we make sure we have food throughout the year. It's just making sure that the crops are maturing at different stages. We always have something to harvest from the farm. Now this part, uh, my suspicion is this is where we had the white maize. This is not the best, the most fertile place that we have, but I just want to confirm that this is white maize so that I can get a few. Oh, this is yellow. That's interesting. Let me try another one. I think white is on the corner, right? We did plant white maize. This is still yellow. Wow. Okay. Let me confirm. I'm pretty sure we planted white maize here. Somewhere. Somewhere. So I think I finally found white maize for roasting. It looks very nice. It's smaller than the yellow maize. Look, yeah. This is white maize. It's smaller than the yellow maize, but still healthy. Yeah, so we are going to roast the white maize. So now we are getting some food for the rabbits. We do feed them on weeds from the farm. We'll try to get as much as we can to sustain them the whole day and probably get some more in the evening. So now we are done gathering food for the rabbits. We've gathered quite a bit. It's quite heavy. Then we've gathered enough maize, and now we'll go back to the upper part of the farm where we'll take you through other projects that we have on the farm and the animals that we are keeping on the farm. Yeah, so we are just done from the lower part of the farm. We've gotten some food for the rabbits, and that's what we are about to give them. These are the remains from the last meal that they had. Just put it there. Even the chicken like eating these weeds, by the way. They like. So this one does not have a lot of dirt. Give it some food. Oops. Our rabbits eat a lot. In a few hours, they'll be done with this, and we have to add some more food. So I'm not worried about what's going down because you can see the chicken are also enjoying it. Here we have some younger ones. Just need to pick. Also some leftovers from the last meal. These ones are quite young, so we give them the softer leaves, and they're also the most. I think they are 4. These are remains from other feeding sessions. They'll be collected and thrown in our compost pit so that we keep the place tidy and clean. So after some time, we'll come and clean. So that one we're not going to shoot because you've seen the activities we do on the farm, and cleaning is one of them. So we need to come and clean this area and throw everything in the compost pit. Yeah, so we finished feeding the rabbits. We are going to come back and clean later. There are a lot of activities that have to be done on the farm, as you saw in our very last video. So these are our goats, our most recent addition on the farm. There are 3 of them. One is a buck, and then we have 2 does. They are the gala goats, and we are going to have them for both meat and milk. Milk for ourselves, not for commercial purposes, but we will be going commercial with goats. We will be adding some more goats so that the goat shed can be full and even have more goat sheds in the farm. So right now they are feeding on hay. They have some hay here. So right now they are feeding on hay and some napier grass from the farm that we just showed you, and then some clean water that they are feeding on. Yeah, and you can see this one is heavily expectant. So I think it could be around 5 months or so. It will be interesting to have a new kid on the farm. So we're also looking forward to that. We're not sure of this other one. We had been told it had been served, but we're not quite sure how many months it could be along or if it is actually expectant, but we'll wait and see. So these are recent additions. It's a very exciting project for us. So keep locked. We'll be informing you as the project grows, as we add more goats, as they keep increasing in number. So yes, it's a very exciting project for us. So one of the things that we always wanted to do on the farm is to be able to have food throughout the year, including during the dry season. And because of that, we've always wanted to have a well on the farm. And this is the well that we've dug. It's 42 feet deep. And because we dug it during the rainy season, not really during the rainy season, towards the end of the rainy season, it's not yet covered because we don't know whether whatever water is will be sufficient. We need to wait during the dry season to be able to know that the well is sufficiently dug and the water is adequate. Currently, the water level is up to 22 feet. but we will wait during a couple of weeks during the dry season to see whether water levels are good, or if we need to dig any deeper. Then once that is done, this place will be fully covered, and the next project now will be probably doing piping to go to the various parts of the farm that we want to use the water on, and see how it gets to the upper part of the farm where we have the raised beds and everything, so that we can be able to grow food at least throughout the year. So it's a very exciting season at the farm. We'll be fully sufficient on water. Remember, we collect rainwater and feed it to 2 tanks, but that was not sufficient because of the dry season. But now with this, we are fully self-sufficient on water, and we use it also on the farm, so that we are now practicing climate smart agriculture. We're not going to be waiting for rains for us to do farming. We'll be farming throughout. So it's a very exciting season for us, and we'll take you along. We'll see how it goes. The next now big project is doing the piping and everything, and we'll also see how that goes. So that's it for today's video. We hope that you enjoyed the grand farm tour. We tried to show you everything that we have, but we might have missed 1 or 2 things here and there. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. We also harvested some leeks, some spring onions, and some maize. And we also showed you our new well that we hope is going to help us do a bit of more climate smart agriculture on the farm, so that we have food throughout the year. We don't have to wait for the rains. We can grow anything that we want throughout the year. So share with your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the best self-sufficiency channel that you can ever find. And keep engaging us in the comment section. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye. This one wasn't mature enough.